Okay, we just saw how bad it is to use mutable default values. Let's fix the problem. And there's several ways to fix it. One way is just don't mutate the value. So right here is where we are mutating the value. We're changing the reverse so far destructively. Just do that non-destructively. Reversed so far equals, we'll take the L of 0. We'll add it onto the front of reverse so far. Okay, and we'll do that instead of this line. So this line was mutable. We'll do this was a destructive change. This is a non-destructive change, so we're not mutating. And look, it works just fine. That's great. This actually fixes it. So take this comment out. It's not broken anymore. But I don't like this fix. It's actually dangerous because if you ever anywhere accidentally have a mutable destructive operation, your code will be subtly broken and bad things will happen. Worse, it works on the first call and then it breaks after that. So this fixes it, but I don't like the fix. But it's this fix right here. Another fix is to use none as a default value. So in that way, let's go back to this. Okay, here we are. So we're back at the broken version. There it is. Now we're going to fix it by, instead of setting this equal to the empty list, we'll set it equal to none. And then what we'll say is if it's none, in that case, set it equal to a new list. And it turns out that this fixes the problem. See, yeah, sure enough, because this is the value that would only be created once by Python, the default value. None is not mutable. So we don't have a mutable default value. Then inside the call, like on our outer call, sure enough, reverse so far is none. We detect that right here. And because this is not a default value, each time that we're inside here, we will get actually a new list created. So one nice way to solve this is for any mutable value, just use none as your default and then create that mutable value if it's none. That solves the problem. It's more elegant than the first solution, right? The do not mutate is more dangerous than using none. There's another way, and that's to use a wrapper function, okay? So here, instead of the none, let's go back to our case where we're broken, okay? This is the broken case, sure enough. But what we'll do is we will call this our reverse list helper. We'll make this be non-default. And we'll just create a simple wrapper function. Reverse list, which takes a list L, and returns reverse list helper of L comma empty list. This way, this is just a helper function. This has become our recursive function. And each time we call this, there's no default parameter at all, but it creates a new list right there and sets this, which also is not, there's no default here at all. And this also works just fine. So creating this wrapper function, I think, was an elegant way around this problem as well. There's a fourth way to do it, and that's just to use a different approach entirely. Because if you recall, when we were studying to reverse a list, we started with a more natural way to do it that didn't use this reverse so far tallying at all, but just directly reverse the list in a more natural way. So that's always an option available to you and one you should consider when possible. In any case, no matter what you do, what you cannot do is use mutable default values. It's a terrible idea.